as somebody who was born and raised in the village, I've always had that very strong connection to the land. But then I realized that there's another generation, especially the ones that are born there, for whom that link is missing. And so when I started this journey of coming back home, it was more about me and doing what works for me. And then I realized I've got kids who, they come home here and they have a fantastic time. And then as they grow older, those links sort of disappear because the kids that are born and raised outside Africa are going to be primarily foreigners here. And so I looked at that and I figured I need to change that. And so I want them to have the exact same connection. I'm not coming back home to look for America here. If I want America, I know where to find it. And that's one of the main reasons why some people go back.
Yes.
Because you come back here looking for what you left there. So come back home here and let's create a hybrid.
Yeah.
It's not America and it's not like the Africa you left.
Yes.
Let's create something that is different. I've made peace with the fact that the people in charge of Africa today are never going to do the things we're looking for. So if you're sitting out there in diaspora hoping that these guys are going to change enough for you to come back, you'll never come back. The only thing we ask for is we want functioning systems. But I know for sure that the people in charge of Africa are not going to do that. So it is us to do that.
What makes Africa for you and what would make Africa not for you, especially given the experiences that you have gotten?
Right. I mean, you're right from the perspective that I don't think Africa is for everybody. And I think you need to go through a discovery process to establish that. And that does not mean once you fail, you run. Because sometimes you can try the first time, it doesn't work out, learn something and change what it is. But for me, at least as an individual, I don't even think I have an option. Like Africa has to work for me. I don't have that option that this is not going to work.
The first time I visited Wuon Odidi was a couple of years back. We spent a lot of time talking about why he wanted to eventually settle back in Kenya. It was something he had thought about for a long time, and you could tell it meant a lot to him. Now, a couple of years later, I am going back to visit him. Only this time, the conversation we are going to have is going to be a bit different. We are talking about what it actually takes to make that move, the preparation nobody tells you about, the mistakes that can make the transition harder than it needs to be, what you should have in place before you relocate, and why it is important to be clear about your reason for coming back. So if you've been thinking about settling back in Kenya, or you're already making plans to do it, I really hope this conversation helps you see the journey a little differently and prepares you for what lies ahead. I hope this episode encourages everyone thinking about coming back home as we continue reclaiming our identity through the soil. Let's listen in together.
Well, welcome to Kisumu Karating, folks. My name is Wuon Odidi. I wear two hats. For one, I'm a diaspora consultant. As a Kenyan American, I've spent the last many years working to bring people back to Africa. And so I work with a lot of Americans, a lot of people from the UK, Canada and all that, especially on issues regarding construction and real estate. I work with companies that build, design, and do things like that.
Yes.
And so we bring people back, but a lot of it has to do with the social part of it, where you help people to connect back to the motherland. But during the day, I'm a full professor. I teach at a university in California.
Yeah.
So we are now here in Kisumu Karating in Western Kenya.
Good.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for having us once again.
Karibu
You know,
sana.
you've made this place such a home for me and my team. I think you saw it when we came, man. We were just randering everywhere. Yeah, it feels always good to reconnect with people we've had on the platform.
Yes.
And it's so good to see you, your family.
Yes.
And I appreciate this moment, which I think was very important.
Yes.
Because the last time we had a conversation,
Yes.
you were making your way back to the country.
Correct.
And it's
Correct.
been a couple of years.
Correct.
And I said, you know, so many people are making this move back to the motherland.
Yes.
As you said, you are consulting for so many people.
Yes.
You are the best person to be able to walk us through the do's, the don'ts, and whether what we see is what we get. So I really do appreciate an opportunity to reconnect with you and have this conversation.
Yes.
But even as we get there, we have a theme on the platform.
Yes.
It's called Reclaiming Our Identity Through the Soil, right?
Right.
What do you think about the theme first and foremost?
I mean, for me, that really underlies what I'm doing right now. because as somebody who was born and raised in the village, I've always had that very strong connection to the land. But then I realized that there's another generation, especially the ones that are born there, for whom that link is missing.
Yeah.
And so when I started this journey of coming back home, it was more about me and doing what works for me. And then I realized I've got kids who, they come home here and they have a fantastic time. And then as they grow older, those links sort of disappear because the kids that are born and raised outside Africa are going to be primarily foreigners here.
Yeah.
Like the ones that we have in America.
Yes.
At the end of the day, when they become adults, they become Americans. And so maybe the only thing Kenyan in them could be the name and maybe the skin color.
Mm-hmm.
And so with my younger kids, my oldest is 8 and my temporary last born is 5.
Yes.
And so I looked at that and I figured I need to change that. And so I want them to have the exact same connection, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I see Africa and I see the potential. Now that I live here and spend a lot of time, it's very hard to draw comparisons between here and diaspora.
Yeah.
It's been an incredible blessing to me. Mm-hmm. And I want to make sure the next generation is getting that.
Good. And I think for me, one of the biggest challenges that I see with people in diaspora is, Lynn, I want to come back home. I want to go back to the motherland. But my children, they do not know the motherland. Is that quite a big challenge?
No, it is. It is. It's actually one of the main reasons why many of us are stuck there. Mm-hmm. Because like I said, for me, I could easily come back and that would be it. And so the last time you visited, that was the first phase of me doing my part. Now it's the kids' part that I'm sorting out. Because a lot of people are worried, what if I bring my kids in? Are they going to fit into the school? How is this going to work out? And part of the experience is usually around the short visits they do. Mm-hmm. Christmas, you come like 2 weeks, or summer, 2 weeks here and there. And so the kids never have a chance to connect.
Yes.
And so for us, what we're now doing differently with the kids, we are bringing them here. They'll be here for at least 7 months. And we've just put them in a local school with the CBC curriculum.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a private school.
Yes.
And they are starting a process where they sit in the class with everybody else, take all the classes, they're doing Swahili, the co-curricular activities, the swimming and all that stuff. In 2 weeks, my kids are now very different. They've only been in school for 2 weeks.
Only, yes.
And they are so different. It's like night and day. Mm-hmm. In fact, even my daughter is actually even changing her accent. She's starting to talk like she, me, I. Can you give me water? It's like she. Me, I. It's like the typical kind of thing.
Yes.
Are we together? Like, when did you, and she's only 5, asking me whether we are together. I was like, dude, wait, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes. And so the way I call it the Kenyan software,
yes,
the African software, the best way to give it to the kids is to bring them here and then put them in an environment where they're spending months with everybody else. Mm-hmm. And even the academic part, this is actually one of the things I've loved in the Kenyan system. Because when I brought my kids back, I simply assumed that, okay, maybe American standards probably are higher than what we have here.
Yep.
Boy, how wrong was I?
For real?
Oh, yeah. My kid walks in and the math they're giving my 4-year-old is the same math my 8-year-old does.
In the US?
Yes. So they're giving and she does not know what to do. But in 2 weeks now, she's doing it like it's like nothing else.
Yeah.
So the bigger challenge has been just the Kenyan cultural things that show up. Like the other day, I think they gave her like homework and they asked her, okay, where do we keep grains? And then she says, okay, a pantry. First of all, the teacher wasn't sure what she's talking about. And then she's looking at the options. The pantry is not there.
Yeah.
In the options, they have something and then they have granary.
Yes.
So she's asking me, Daddy, what is granary?
Oh, yeah.
So there's those like Kenyan things. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's something with a shop, something like a shopkeeper in there.
Yes.
My son is asking me, what is a shopkeeper?
Oh, come on.
Like that means nothing to him.
Yes.
Or when they're talking about weather, then they're busy talking about fall, autumn, winter,
spring.
And of course, this is a very foreign world. So there's that cultural software that they're still working through.
Okay.
But it's been a beautiful, beautiful experience.
Yeah.
Really beautiful.
Mentally, what are some of the changes that you have observed? For
the first time, if it's not for the weekends, my kids wake up at like 8:30. Like they sleep in the same way that I do. Because back in Long Beach, even for me, if I get 6 hours, that's different. Here at home, I sleep like a madman. Yeah. You just go to bed and sleep. Mm-hmm. So I notice even socially, because my kids, especially my daughter, she's very social, she talks. But when she's in school in Long Beach, the teachers who were saying, your daughter doesn't talk. And that's not her. Because the environment they've created there is so foreign to her. But here, she's almost like the domestic celeb in their class.
Yes.
Yeah. And for them, they fit in. Whatever you're eating, they're going to eat. Whatever you're doing, they're going to do it. And so socially, I see a very different world. Academically, in fact, the other day, my daughter came back from school and she was smiling. She said, Daddy, the teacher called me Nyakisumu.
Okay.
And she was so proud of it.
Of being called Nyakisumu?
Yeah, called Nyakisumu, yes. Yes, for people who don't know what that is, simply means the daughter of Kisumu.
Yeah.
Something that her American teachers would never even know. They don't even pronounce her last name. I've never heard her teachers pronounce her last name. And she's one of those girls who will introduce herself as, my name is Akinyo Bello. Because they don't have foreign names.
Yes.
They have all African names.
Yeah.
And the way she comes back from school, excited, looking forward to go to school, it's like night and day. So it's been a very different experience.
Yes.
In that sense.
Would you say it's an advantage that you have started them younger? Because then I'm imagining someone would love to come back to the motherland, but they have teenagers, they have even adults, they have a 21-year-old, an 18-year-old, a 16-year-old, because sometimes you feel like that is the world they know.
Right.
So would you say it's an advantage when you start your kids younger?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
What I've observed, because the nice thing I learned from the school where my kids are going to right now, I found other Kenyan American parents who every summer they bring their kids in the same school. So for 3 months, the kid, once they're done in school, they come in here and they enroll second term.
Yes.
And they fit in with everybody else. They speak Swahili, they do all of that. So what I notice is that you need a different process for different age groups. For these little ones, like anywhere between maybe age 2 and 10, just take them, they'll throw in, fit in. But for the older ones, it seems to work better when you have like maybe another other groups of similar kids.
Yeah.
Because I've got friends who are doing the same things. And so if you have teenagers and you have another parent with teenagers, when they're here, at least with that connection, it's easier for them to transition. Yes.
Okay.
So yes, it's easier for younger kids, but you just need a different process to transition for different age groups.
Oh, you have to be intentional about the preparation of
Exactly.
it. Good. And you know, one of the things I was looking forward to even having you back on the platform, as I said, you are the best person to be able to walk us through the do's and don'ts. Last time we were here, you are not spending as much time as you're spending right now. And obviously, some people might have missed on that episode. And I did this mainly for people who want to come back to the motherland, because again I have also experienced people who come back because again we are talking about reclaiming our identity through the soil. Come back. Africa is beautiful. We can grow our own organic food. We like it's therapeutic. But then I've also seen people who have come here and they have left after 6 months. They are like, nah, Africa is not for me. What makes Africa for you, and what would make Africa not for you, especially given the experiences that you have gotten?
Right. I mean, you're right from the perspective that I don't think Africa is for everybody. And I think you need to go through a discovery process to establish that. And that does not mean once you fail, you run. Because sometimes you can try the first time, it doesn't work out, learn something and do change what it is. But for me, at least as an individual, I don't even think I have an option. Like Africa has to work for me. I don't have that option that this is not going to work. So what I did is that I broke my transition into 3 different phases.
Good.
So when you came, I was actually in phase 1.
Yes.
Which for me is about, let me come back home, reconnect, and first of all, have a place I call home. Because like many diasporans, when we leave, we don't have a place to come back to per se. In fact, the first time I came back, I was sleeping in my brother's little house, little simple.
Yes.
So it's like a ton of us in a small house that is leaking, and I may have shared this before. And then at night it starts raining. And then you have rainwater. So I find my 1-year-old son standing in the middle of the house with his tongue out, licking rainwater. And he's having fun. Yeah, it's like, this is cool.
Yeah.
So my wife looks at this like, dude, this is not happening. We are not doing this. And so the first process was to reconnect and at least create something so that when the kids come back, it's not such a huge shock. So basically the whole idea was that in terms of the physical space, I want to make sure that step 1, when the kids come back here, there is nothing they have in diaspora that they won't get here. So they'll get what they have in diaspora plus more.
Yes.
So just basic things like internet, which if you have internet, reliable power, of course, modern plumbing, as you can see.
Yes.
So they come in here, there's nothing in their house there that they don't find here. And then now the mall comes in, then they walk outside. And then you look at all this greenery. They have plants, they have got friends, they run around, no adult supervision.
Yes.
Over the weekend when my kids are not in school, they come out, the gate is open, their friends are here. Even though the language part is still up in the air, but they are figuring it out.
They know what they are telling
Somehow
each other.
yeah,
they are communicating.
And I see them on top of the tree, and that's when I need to switch off the American side of me.
Yes.
Because now I see that and I'm already thinking, oh, I need to protect these kids. In fact, I don't even go with my wife when they're doing swimming lessons. Because for us, we're now you're sitting on the edge, you're thinking, oh, I need to protect, but they're fine.
Yeah.
The kids are fine. So step one, reconnect and create a space that has what they need. Because you don't want them to come and experience trauma. Knowing that whatever they know about Africa from the other side is something else. I walked into my daughter's class in Long Beach. Day one, I see pictures on the wall, different countries. Then I see Kenya and I'm thinking, oh, let me take a look. Guess what picture was there? You've got a kid possibly from Northeastern, barely clothed, extended stomach, flies all that on the wall. And that is Kenya.
Oh, God.
So that is what they're thinking Africa is. And so if they're coming back and then you reinforce those ideas here by giving them a tough experience, they're not coming back.
Yes.
So step one, establish a place that feels home. So when the kids come here, there is nothing here they're missing. And then now step two is now the bigger connection, which is what we're doing now.
Yes.
Extended time. Because Kenya during holiday, or Africa during holidays, is not the same thing as Kenya in between. Because a lot of diasporans come here either for 2 weeks in summer or 2 weeks in Christmas.
Go to Mombasa,
Yes.
Naivasha.
You're making it rain and you've already saved
Masai
up.
Mara.
Yes.
Yes.
And then you think that is what Kenya is. I say, come back during rainy season, when it rains from morning to night and all that. Come back when people are doing other things so that you experience the real Kenya, which is what I'm doing with kids now.
Yeah.
So that is now step two. Extended time and then more time embedded into the community as a way to now install the software.
Yes.
Because what we're trying to do ultimately is to make sure that we are raising humans who have the option to live in Africa if they choose to. But we're also raising a human being who can, I call it, they speak Afrikaans, not the Afrikaans in South Africa. They speak African, meaning they come here and culturally they can easily fit in there if they choose. And that is now the tougher part.
Yeah.
Because it takes time. It takes putting them in the right spaces. So that's step two. And then the final step, which we are going to do finally, is when everything has fallen in place, then we close shop and we come back.
And come back here.
Yes.
Beautiful. And also, I think I loved the part you said, reconnect.
Yes.
Know your why.
Yes.
Because sometimes we'll talk about reclaiming our identity through the soil.
Yes.
Then it's a wave.
Right.
You guys are coming back. But what's your why?
Yes.
Why are you coming back? You know,
Yes.
like now maybe for you, what was your why? What made you say, nah, Lynn, let me go back to the motherland? I know maybe you might have shared that in our first episode, but maybe for people who missed that part, what was that why? And is it still your why?
Yeah, so I have several whys. It's not one. So one, a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I had this moment of reflection because I spent time with people of different ages.
Yes.
I've got friends who've lived in the US for 40, 50 years. And oftentimes they come visit me, I visit them. So one time I went to visit one of my friends. And I'm looking at his life, he's retired. And I'm telling myself, this could be me 10 years from now. This could be me 15. And I was like, I don't want this. And then I came back home. You know, Kenya has a way of giving you soft life. There's a certain level of soft life. I come back home at a time
when you have money.
When
you have money.
Well,
the soft life is when you have money.
To some degree, yes. To some degree, that is true. That is true. So I come back home. Remember, I'm coming from Long Beach where currently even just a haircut. And by the way, I only have like 2 pieces of hair left. In Long Beach, it cost me like $60, $70 for a haircut. It takes like 10 minutes and you're done. Then I land in Kisumu here and they spend 3 hours. You're sitting there and there's somebody doing this, somebody doing your nails and all, until you fall asleep. Like you even forget that there's life beyond what we've been doing all that.
Yes.
So that was the second why. When I came back and I was able to reconnect with just what is normal. Because what they have packaged for us in diaspora is not normal for us. Because that idea of waking up and you're shuttling between work and home, and you're constantly around the pressure, constantly around people who, for the most part, are tolerating you.
Yes.
If you do that for several years, it starts catching up with you. Because even for me, I started having health issues. I was diabetic because of what we eat, the stress level. Then I come back home, and for the first time, I realized I don't even know whether it's a Tuesday or a Sunday. Like, life is just moving on.
You're chilled.
Like, you're just alive. And then, of course, with the soft life, I see like we are home here. You can hire people who can help you with cleaning, with the kids. Like, I can wake up in the morning, I go do stuff as an adult.
Yes.
I don't even have to worry about where the kids are, who is doing what. I come back home and things are done. It reminded me about what I grew up with as a child. And so that was the second why. But the third why, which is a major one, has to do with running away from a system that was really set up to squeeze everything from us. And that system has different pathways. Pathway number one, when kids are younger, they bombard you with the cultural experience of what diaspora could be. And especially for kids in the cities. You see that and start thinking, maybe I should try something else.
Yes.
And then for some kids, you're sent to an international school where they give you the British curriculum or the other ones. Keep in mind, nobody is ever going to develop a school system so that your kids can compete their kids. So these foreign systems that they have put in place here are purposely designed to maintain that system, not what we have here. So then they put you through that curriculum, and when they leave these British or American systems,
Yes.
they are not designed to send kids to Maseno, to Moi, and all that. Guess where they go? To the UK.
Yeah.
And who is paying for that?
You.
So we are paying for that. And then I give them the best years of my life. Because you're going to give them like maybe 20, 30, 40, sometimes 50 years, the best years of your life. They squeeze all of that. And then in the end, once you retire, and right now they've adjusted retirement age, you're coming back at 67, at 70. Most of you is spent. Then you come back and then they tell you, we are going to give you something called retirement or pension. So they're giving you break. You work for 40 years. Then they are going to give you something for 10 years. Because when you come back at 70,
Yeah.
especially if you are doing some of the kinds of jobs we do, you come back here, you're not going to last more than 10 years. So you give them 50 years, they give you 10 years of breadcrumbs. And on top of that, they're your kids. You already give it, because the kids that are born there that never had what we're giving our kids, they are going to stay there. So they have them full. So I'm just desperately trying to break that circle. To break that circle and to bring it back.
Yes.
And the other bigger piece of it is that, unfortunately, the Western systems are very unforgiving. Here in Africa, kids can make mistakes and recover. I've seen kids do all kinds of things here that if you did them over there, one mistake, you're done. Because for one, they keep records. If, say, something happens to your child and maybe they get some kind of contact with law enforcement, first of all, the records are posted on social media, posted elsewhere. Even if they never end up getting convicted, let them try to get a job. So when you're raising kids that have one option, and that is either America or whatever that is, if something goes wrong with that America thing, your kid is done. 2 years ago, my friend's son was shot. Was a very promising kid, things are falling apart. Next thing you know, one criminal record, he's off on the street. And so those are some of the struggles I look at as a parent. I'm like, I don't want my kids to go through that.
Yes.
Yes.
But then again, many people will be like, Lynn, but what choices do we have, right?
Yes.
We've traveled, we've been to Australia, UK, name it, all these places. And you meet very hard working Kenyans and they tell you, Lynn, I wish home was better. I wish the systems in home worked, the structures in home worked. When you look now back, what is it that Africa needs to do better so that people don't think that the grass is greener on the other side?
Good question. So, number one, I've made peace with the fact that the people in charge of Africa today are never going to do the things we're looking for. And it doesn't matter. Every election circle, we are always fronting somebody.
Yes.
That this is the it. This is the it. And you notice that different people, different systems, but they still all do the same thing. So I've made peace with the fact that these folks are never going to do the right thing, which means we have to be the one doing it.
Yes.
In fact, after going through the schooling experience, I have made a choice from next month, I'm building a school.
Oh, wow.
That is, I'm building a school from next month. We're breaking ground next month. Because I've looked at, in fact, it took me a while to find a good school. I went through tons of schools looking at what's there and lots of disappointments. To get to where we are, it was a very painful experience. Because I remember when I came back, I'm thinking, oh, my kids have been to an American school, good school, so when they come back, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of us, there was about 4 of us. Can you imagine we come back here and the first thing that happens, we were rejected locally. The schools will tell you, no, we don't want your kid.
Why?
Lots of reasons. But one of the painful reasons, in fact, it's forced 3 of us to actually look for alternatives, has to do with the systems that are not built for kids that are different.
Yeah.
So if, say, for example, your child has a disability, there's a school where they told me, even if your child just uses a wheelchair only, we will not admit them. Remember, we're talking about a typical child in every way. But if they need a wheelchair, no, we will not admit those. So we have systems that are rejecting us locally here. So you can imagine we are running away from that, then you run into that. And then it turns out that actually one of those schools is actually owned by South Africans. And so there's things like that. So we've accepted that the changes we want,
Have to come from us.
we are going to have to do them. So if you're sitting out there in diaspora hoping that these guys are going to change enough for you to come back, you'll never come back. Yes. So if there are systems, because the only thing we ask for across the board, because I speak with a lot of people as well, is we want functioning systems. Because when you have functioning systems, you have schools that are right. You have hospitals that are right. You have roads and all that, just functioning systems. But I know for sure that the people in charge of Africa are not going to do that. So it is us to do that. And as I drive around, I also visit people who have built hospitals and schools and all that. Yeah. I've seen folks, like a friend of mine has a hospital somewhere in South Nyanza. You walk in, you're like, this is unlike anything else I've seen. So the changes that we want, whatever it is we want, it is us to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are the change
Yes.
we are asking for,
We
which
are-
is a bit painful because the diaspora community
Right. Yeah.
remits a lot.
Yes.
You help our economy a
Yes.
lot.
Yes.
To be able to not even be heard, I think that is actually painful.
Yeah,
Uh,
it
that-
is.
that- that-
It
that's
is.
a-
It is. It is. Again. I mean, if you look at just the remittance that comes through, but again, the people in charge, the only thing they're interested in is what can they get out of that system.
Yeah.
But the beautiful thing, though, that I've seen, every single problem you see back here in Africa, to me, is an opportunity. Every single problem you think about sees an opportunity. Like I came here, I had a very hard time getting a good school for my kids. But I'm thinking, this is a space where I can do something that solves my problem, solves my neighbor's problems, and economically makes sense.
Yes.
So why not?
And gives you exactly what you want for the children.
Exactly.
Talking of a school, how
Yeah.
do you envision yours being different from the rest?
So a couple of things.
Yeah.
You know, for me, when I think, I'm an educator.
Yes.
When I think of a school, it's an entire ecosystem, not just a building where kids come in. So for me, I'm starting with a broader picture where I want to set up something that, of course, starts with a school, with a building and kids.
Yes.
But in this school, you have kids, you have people who work here. Then you have the community that depends on this system. These people have to live somewhere, they eat, they look for entertainment. So it's a whole ecosystem that you set up. And I'm not just thinking of building like maybe a primary school and a high school and all that. This is going to go all the way up to the university. Because I went to a local university, I trained in Maseno.
Yes.
I see whatever else happens in there. I know we can do something that is different. So I started with what curriculums do we have? And I've been reading quite a bit about the CBE,
Yes.
local curriculum. In principle, I think it's really fantastic in terms of their core missions, what they're focusing on. You talk about social justice, critical thinking, problem solving. Some of the things they list to me are wonderful. But of course, the bigger issue is
Yes.
from there to the classroom, what happens?
The execution.
What happens? So I think we can still take the best of what we have here. And because we've been out there, I know exactly what works in other systems as well. So I'm looking for something hybrid
Yes.
that takes the best of what I see in the US and the best of what I see at home here, merge those two, and create something unlike anything else.
And that's how we change our continent.
Exactly.
Yes.
But more importantly, I'm very big on issues inclusivity, creating space where everybody is welcome. Because as you see back home here, there is no market for people with disabilities. There is no church for people with autism. There is no road. Like once you get in the adult world, we are everywhere. And so this system where kids with disabilities are thrown into some corner somewhere, to me, is something that I want to change. So I built a school right from day one. It's a school where everybody functioned in. And this is not just about kids with disabilities. I'm thinking about people without disabilities. And here's why.
Yeah.
For people who never had time shared around people with disabilities, that world is very foreign to them. So if a child goes through school the entire time without ever having meaningful interaction with a person with disability, this person tomorrow is going to be a CEO.
Yes.
He's going to be an employer.
Yeah.
He's going to be a priest. He's going to be like a business person. They are not going to think about people with disability. And so let's make what is normal outside normal in our school spaces.
Yes.
So that when everybody walks out, it's very normal to have somebody with a wheelchair
Yeah.
who cannot see and all that. Same space. Yeah.
Good.
So,
And
exactly.
I must honestly commend you for that. That's such a beautiful initiative that is also inclusive.
Right.
And I really wish you well with that. Like even when you open,
yes.
I would gladly love to document that for our audience
Well,
because
yes.
it's also a challenge
Yes.
for me
Yes.
and for so many people that are
Yes.
going to watch this conversation.
Yes.
I feel like we need to be charged up. You know, we need, you know, even when we started our farm at Kenya Farm,
Yeah.
I looked around and I'm like, no,
Yeah.
why is it that we are being told our food is bad?
Yeah.
We grew up with this food.
Yeah.
We've been eating this food.
Yes.
Like right now you look for colored maize, you can't even find it anywhere
no,
because someone saw an opportunity. They are using us as their guinea pigs and they are
Yes.
making as much money as they can.
Yeah.
So I feel like when you do your part, we do our part, another person does their part,
Yes.
whether it's education, food, or whichever
Yes.
sector,
Yes.
then we are really going to move this country forward.
Exactly.
But I love that when you keep speaking, you're speaking or you're doing this with a group of people, you and four
Yes.
friends, you looked around,
Yeah.
which means you're working with a community.
Yes.
And for people who are returning back home, construction and land is a
Yes.
big part of it.
Correct.
And I love that you've consulted for so many people, especially in
Yes.
diaspora.
Right.
What would you say has been the biggest challenge or what are some of the mistakes that people need to stop making?
Now, regarding construction,
Yes.
I think a lot of people are really green about the realities of what it takes to do construction here. When you live in diaspora for 10, 20 years, you could be familiar with how systems work there.
Yes.
And then you have that in your head and you bring it here. And then there's a very big gap between what's in your head versus what you're going to produce. And that's where people like us now come in.
Yes.
Because I spend a lot of time here in the village. I know levels of expertise. I know how people think. And then I've also lived in diaspora.
Yeah.
So the need to bridge that gap. If you can find somebody to bridge that gap, first problem solved. Because the top complaint I get is that diasporans say, I want this, but what I find at home, two completely different things. And in part because the people who design and build here have never lived outside Kenya. The people who are asking for those homes barely live here. So that gap, there's always a need for somebody to close that gap.
Yes.
Yes. And then once that is done, nowadays, maybe more than 5-7 years ago, there are better systems of doing construction. There are things we've done traditionally where you bring in your brother, you bring in this, I know somebody who knows somebody, and that kind of thing.
Yes.
That system, people have stories. If you're looking for high quality character development, try that.
Yeah.
So nowadays, there are better systems of doing construction that don't even require you to be there. Because half the time, I'm consulting, we are building homes and all that, and I'm not even here. Yeah. So you have to be willing to move away from the old system into different ways where you're working with professionals.
Yes.
And then there are systems to manage the process so that you mitigate the risk that people run into. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And maybe for you where you've put in, you are in a Kenyan village.
Yes.
And I mean that in a very good way. And you
Yes.
put up a structure, such a beautiful structure
thank you,
here.
thank you.
Was that by choice?
Yes, it was. It was by choice, and I was very intentional. As I said, for me, the priority was I need to create something that has whatever my kids need.
Yeah.
But at the same time, especially back here in the village, you want to be as off-grid as possible to lead a similar quality of life. Because like in many villages, if you live and you're depending on KPLC, for example, you're always going to have blackouts.
Yep.
But you put blackout aside. I could have shown you, I'm looking at my grandmother's token. I bought a token like maybe a month ago. Yesterday, I bought a token again for 2,000 shillings. You look at the units you're getting within 30 days, completely different things. So there's issues with billing, extreme issues around billing, and then reliability. You don't want to come to diaspora and you're sitting here in the dark because of blackout. And so we are big on off-grid building. So whatever you build, just make sure you are self-dependent. You don't depend on them. Like my entire house, all this is solar powered. So whether KPLC is there or not, you're fine.
Life goes on.
It doesn't matter.
Yes.
And the lights can be on all day. I don't worry about electricity bills. So off-grid power, you've got your own source of water. You manage your trash, and you produce your own food. So the less you're dependent on existing structures, the more comfortable you will. Yeah.
And how do you deal now with the guilt? Because I know definitely someone might be watching this, but they are not Kenyan. Maybe they are American. And someone is out there saying, look at this one speaking. He got all he could from America. And now he doesn't seem appreciative. Is there any guilt?
No, I have no guilt.
Zero.
And here's why. In truth, America has given us a lot. I will always be appreciative of what America has given us. But this was a transaction. They paid me and I put in work. That is what, it's not like they were doing charity. This was never about charity. Because most of us go there for school. They do Harambes here. We get the money, we pay school. They are not doing us a favor. You pay to go through school. You are employed. You put in your expertise, you're paid. So at some level, it is transactional. They give you something, you put in something.
Yes.
So at that point, I don't feel guilty. And especially once you put in several years, I feel like I've given America the best years of my life. There is no harm to now take what is left and give to the one country that has given me more than any other country has anywhere. No country has given me more than what Kenya has.
Yes.
I was born here, raised here, went through all the way up to my first degree. And that was Kenya. And so I do not feel guilty when I'm doing something that benefits Africa or benefits Kenya. Yes.
And that's a fact.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fact.
Zero guilt.
Zero guilt.
Zero guilt. Yes.
But let's talk about you now immersing yourself with the community.
Yes.
Because I think also one of the biggest challenges people say is wataniona aje.
Yes.
That community might think, of course, I'm building such a big house.
Yes.
There's gonna be a bit of jealous here and there.
Right.
How do you immerse yourself with the community and still say, you know what, Lynn, I'm here to do what I need to do, and I'll do it no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, it's a delicate balancing act.
Yeah.
And I also ran into problems. Like when we were building this house, I really got in trouble. And part of the reason I got in trouble was mostly cultural. Because when I came back, I didn't have, like in my culture, you're supposed to build like a small simba, small hut in your parents' house.
Yes.
I had not done that. When I was building, I came here by myself. As a man, you're expected to build with a woman right there. Because the home belongs to you, but the house
belongs to your woman.
To the woman, yes. So as a typical Luo in the village, you're not supposed to do that. And then third, my older brother had not started building his.
Yeah.
So there were so many cultural rules I was breaking, and people were like, no, you can't do this. So just let them talk. And then when they're done, all I said, on Thursday, I'm going to be down there with Fundis. Show up. If you want, show up.
Yeah.
Until today, I've got relatives who will never set foot here because of all that. So you have to be comfortable with the idea that not everybody's going to agree with what you're going to do. And that's fine. And then the second piece of it is I say, do you, and the world will adjust.
Yes.
After I did all that, because I broke so many rules, the younger folks behind me, they don't have to worry about all those problems. Just wake up and do your thing. Because people have looked at it as like, okay, he did that and nobody died.
Yeah.
It's like, you're still alive.
Yeah.
So this is okay.
Yeah.
So you don't worry about that. But people will keep talking. Like right now, the latest rumor is that I've been deported. Yes. Because they're looking at me, he's here, months are going and I'm not going back. And then in the morning, they see me with children going to school. And so, yes, I've recently been told that the new news is I've been deported.
I saw that.
Yes. So you keep hearing things like that.
Yeah.
Then I say, do you? The world will adjust.
Yes.
But then there are spaces where you have to find ways to work with the community. Because you can't just be doing the exact opposite every single time, because then you'll have a lot more battles. But I say, look at what are you trying to accomplish? If they're asking you to do something that is not progressive, sometimes just ignore things and do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Yes.
What has been the biggest highlight for you?
Now, the biggest highlight, at least this time round, has been the school.
Yeah.
The schooling experience has been fantastic. Initially, it started very, very rough. Like just trying to find an appropriate school for my kids. Transportation, they're telling me my kids have to wake up at 4 a.m, come back at 6. That was tough.
Yeah.
But then once we figured out ways around that, And then kids go to school, they wake up in the morning, they're excited, they come back, and I can hear them mixing the Kenyan accent in there. I hear Swahili words popping in there. I sit back and I'm like, this is wonderful. The software is coming in. Yes. So that has been the biggest highlight this time around. Yes.
Would you advise someone to maintain or maybe would you advise someone to do dual citizenship so that you enjoy the benefits of here and the benefits of that place as well?
Where possible.
Yeah.
Where possible, yes. I mean, there are many countries that don't allow that and could get you in trouble. In fact, I have a friend of mine who lost his diaspora citizenship because the country doesn't allow that. If you can do that, and the reason is simple, not even in terms of opportunities.
Yeah.
For one, if you're a citizen, there are far less restrictions. Like for me, because I'm a citizen, I can be out here for however long I want.
Yes.
And then I go. But if you're not, there may be limitations as to how long you could be out there. So to minimize that, keep dual for the moment. But honestly, for me, long term, I'm looking at a place where once everything is in place, I want to give up my American citizenship.
Once everything.
Yeah, because I see as I move further, I need it less.
Good.
Because like I said, one of the things that is pushing me is that I got to the point where the pain of setting diaspora is stronger than the fear of the unknown out there. And then I tried the unknown and I realized this is just working out okay. So start dual, and as things move closer, I know I'm going to get to a place where I'll be happy to give up.
Yeah.
American citizenship.
Good. Huh?
Yeah.
And are there some things that you did when you started your return journey that you regret, and what could you do better?
I don't know necessarily that I have regrets.
Yeah.
There's only one big regret that I have. I wish I started early.
Oh.
That is my biggest regret. Because I'm looking back, I've been in the US for at least 2 decades. When I was younger, single, sometimes we would come by some monies here and there. And you know, when you're young, it's shere, you're running around, you're making and all that. And if I knew what I know now, there are things I would have done back then. In fact, I tell people, the journey back home should start on day 1. The day you land, think about the journey back. If you do that, you're able to do a whole lot more, and you're able to slow down earlier.
Yeah.
Because right now, I'm building homes for people who are retired, people in their 60s. And it is 10 times harder to do it later on. So my biggest regret is I wish I started this earlier. Yeah.
Start in your youth when you can save.
When you land, yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it. And then start doing, I'll say, every year, just make sure you're doing something that moves you closer to that goal.
Yeah.
However long it takes you. Yeah. Just make sure every year you're doing something that pushes you closer to that goal. Yes.
And emotionally, maybe if you're comfortable answering this, what are some of the things that you guys have set in place? Because you know your children are here. Sometimes your wife is away. Sometimes she's here. How do you also balance and make sure, Lynn, as much as I'm doing all these things, my family is still here with me? Maybe not physically, but I'm also still a present dad and a present husband.
Yeah, now that has been a big challenge because there are times I'm here by myself and they're back there. Because the kids will go back sometime next year. And as we're still transitioning, we still want to keep with the process where the entire summer, they come back here, they're in school.
Yes.
So there are periods where I'm here and they're there. And parenting remotely is very difficult. I think it's one of those things that I have to live with. But, so I mean, all you can do is communication as best as you can because it's very hard, especially when the kids are younger, it's very hard to parent remotely.
Yeah.
And so that's why you see us still traveling back and forth. Somebody's here and all that stuff. But it's still a challenge.
Yes.
Yes.
Are there things you are also struggling to get used to when you're here back in the country?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. There are things I don't think I'm ever going to get used to.
Oh, come on now.
See, and some of them are not even major things. Like I'm driving and in front of me, I see somebody throwing bottles, and somebody eating and throwing things by the window. I feel like I want to stop the car, just go and
pick it and then
throw it in.
Back. Yes.
I'm never going to get used to that. And then that sense of urgency. Because, you know, in America, I think we're used to boom, boom, boom. And then I come back here, same thing, I'm on the road. I drive, then there's a matatu stopping by in front of me to pick a passenger. The conductor guy is still talking to the passenger. They're taking their sweet time in the middle of the road. So we are stopping, there's a line behind me. And then on the other side, there's a car coming that side.
Yes.
They know each other.
Yes.
That guy is over there.
They stop.
And
then they have to say they are good. They are sweet highs.
Oh, yeah.
Take their seat.
Yes. And I'm thinking, I want to honk, and then I have to remind myself, you know, it's okay. So learning to slow down.
Yeah.
I really have to relearn, because there's some things I have to actually relearn to slow down.
Yes.
And then even just the concept of time, as you know. Because, again, they've conditioned us to think of time in a linear way. But back at home here, time is more like a circular process. So I have to remind myself that, if we miss this hour, there's another one coming.
Yeah.
Just saying, there's another one coming. So that sense of time is one of those things that I've not gotten used to.
Yes.
Plus a few others that I think will take time.
Yeah.
But it's okay. And the reason I say it's okay is that I'm not coming back home to look for America here. If I want America, I know where to find it. If you're looking for the UK, you know where to find it. So when I'm coming here, I'm not coming. And that's one of the main reasons why some people go back.
Yes.
Because you come back here looking for what you left there. So come back home here and let's create a hybrid.
Yeah.
It's not America, and it's not like the Africa you left.
Yes.
Let's create something that is different.
That which works.
Exactly.
That which works for
Exactly.
you. For someone who has been away or someone who has experienced that life, would you say we Africans take what we have for granted?
Oh, big time. Big time. There are so many things. And in part because sometimes you don't know what you don't know. A simple thing like the sun, because I was born and raised here.
Yeah.
As we don't even get the cold you have up there in Nairobi and all that. And I used to wonder, why would somebody come to just sit on the sun? Why are you sitting outside? Because for us, you wake up, get out, and you're on the sun.
Yeah.
And then until you go there and you realize, hey, you could be sitting indoors for months, you don't get that.
Yes.
The experience of, like right now I'm at home, besides the people that I help, my mom is there, my sister, my neighbors, that community. Once you leave here, because back there is just the two of us, you wake up in the morning and you're running back and forth. Sometimes you have to meet at a gas station to just exchange kits. There's so much that Africa offers.
Yes.
That you, the moment you realize its full potential, that happens only when you leave and you don't have it anymore. Yeah.
And now, maybe for example, because your kids were born in America.
Yes.
In terms of paperwork, IDs, whatever that, sometimes the paperwork makes you also Kenyan.
Yes.
How do many people go about that? Is it a challenge?
It is for many people.
Yes.
But once you figure out the system, and that's part of the process, coming back and having connections.
Yeah.
Because for one, the truth is in Kenya, there is no problem money cannot solve. That's number one. And I will not define what that is. That's number one. Number two, Kenya is a place where sometimes with the right phone numbers, pick up a phone number and in minutes, you have what you need.
Yes.
So it's easy in that sense. So even though in diaspora, we have a much more clear pathway, you need passport, here's what you do. But here, it's like I know somebody who knows somebody, make a phone call.
Yes.
Send them. So you have to develop those networks, which is what I've been doing.
Okay.
You have the right network, you'll just be fine.
Yes. Yeah. And mentally, how are you even as a man? Would you say mentally you are at a greater space or at a great space?
Absolutely.
A better space?
Absolutely. Because again, keep in mind, the version of being a man that I was raised around is not what I found in diaspora. Because here I would wake up and I see my father sitting there and being catered to. And then I land over there and it's the exact opposite. You're a man, unasugua watoto, you're running around and doing all that. It is...
Unaosha masufuria.
Yes, you're doing all of that,
Yeah.
Because you can imagine, your wife does a job where she is at work 16 hours on her feet. For you come back home early. You're not going to sit there waiting for her to come back to do all of that stuff. And so I think America was a very humbling experience for me in terms of family life and even professionally. Because when I left Kenya, I was a deputy principal, tying a tie and suits and all that all day. And then I left that job straight into the kitchen, washing dishes and doing all kinds of things.
Yes.
If there's any diaspora job you can think about, I've done it.
Yeah.
So that there was a humbling process. But then when I came back home, I was able to now reconnect with the male experience that I grew up around. Where you wake up and maybe it's morning, you're just sitting there. Baba Nani, they've already brought hot water. Like, wash your hands. I'm like, oh, I almost feel guilty doing that.
Yes.
So it's nice to rediscover that experience of being just a regular African village man.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in terms of finances,
yes.
would you say you saved better to get yourself here? Because again, you need money.
Of course.
You come to Kenya, yes, you are returning, but hey, uko na pesa? Ama hauna pesa?
Of course.
Yes,
of
what
course.
are some of the financial decisions that made it easier for you to get here at this stage?
So we were lucky. For one, we took advantage of the opportunities there in diaspora to go through school.
Yes.
And both myself and my wife have terminal degrees.
Yeah.
And so those allow us to at least get acceptable jobs. And then at some point, I was talking to another friend of mine who I will forever be grateful, that helped me escape the diaspora trap that we all fall into. Because a lot of us get in, and I don't know what happens in other countries, but in America, with a decent credit, you can get a home, you can get a car, you can get all this and all that. So there's a trap they set for you. Starting with your credit. They tell you, first of all, to have a good credit, you need to borrow money. Then you're borrowing money for this, and then you get trapped. So you see people who are not making that much money, they have very expensive cars, big homes and all that. And so financially, you're so tied down. For me, in diaspora, I drive a Vet's size of a car. 20-year-old car. I finished paying it a long time ago because I work like 1 mile from home.
Yeah.
I don't need that. So I was guided properly to avoid some of those financial traps that we get caught up in. And so that allows me to be able to do this.
Yes.
Because if I'm spending very little the other side, then I can use some of what I've made to do what we're doing here. Yeah. And unfortunately, most people don't get that when they move into diaspora. Yes.
Yani it's an issue where they trap you financially just to make sure that you never pivot.
Exactly. Remember, I told you that this pipeline starts from here. So the advanced stage of it is that now you're in America. You're now employed. So they're like, let's give you this. They give you this. So financially, you're tied. And then even with cars, as soon as you're getting close to finishing it, you're like, oh, we have the latest version of it.
Yeah.
Just come. Zero. Don't need to put any money down. Just sign the dotted line and you take it. Before you know it, you are so spread thin. And so we end up doing multiple jobs. Not because we're trying to develop, but you're trying to keep up with all these bills.
Yeah.
In fact, there's one time I sat down, just made a list of my bills. I realized I had like almost 20 things that I'm paying for. Here in the village, I have only 2 bills, primarily. The internet and the people that help me here. And so escaping that financial trap was a big process to helping us do what we do. So we spend very little.
Yeah.
If nothing is broken, keep it.
Yes.
The car runs fine, it's 20 years old, there's no problem.
Keep it.
Keep it. And so there's things like that that allowed us to be able to at least move some of what we have back here.
Like, why do you think many people cave into that pressure? Because again, there's a lot of pressure, even from here.
Yes.
I see also a lot of people in diaspora being pressured by their own people here. You go to diaspora and now your whole family back home is expecting you to cater for everything. Correct. Do you think that is something so many people are caving into? And mentally, how are they navigating that?
I think one of the problems we have is that as Africans, we are socialized to live life as a community. And it's our job to take care of the next person. And I'm okay with that. The question becomes, how do you do that while still being able to do things that work for you? So when you come here, when you come to diaspora, you're looking at what you left back at home. And all of us are trying to change that.
Yes.
And then at some point also the pressure we get is more about how we are perceived. So back at home here, I talk to even parents who have kids their side. And the pressure they give their kids is like, oh, I see so-and-so's child. See, they're doing this, they both this, they did this. What about you? Why not you? Or your parent comes to visit you in diaspora, finds you in a small apartment. When you go visit your friend, they have a massive home. You're like, how come you're living in this small apartment and your friends have that? So there are people who cave into that, trying to meet those expectations.
Yes.
And for us, again, with good advice, we got to the point where we realize, at the end of the day, these people who are giving you pressure, not a single one of them pays your bills. Not a single one of them takes care of your kids. And you accept that whatever they're thinking, that's in their head. I do what works for my family. Yes.
You have to be careful.
Exactly.
Where are you investing your energy at,
Exactly.
And you like another thing I really love you for is that you've demystified this whole stereotype and narratives that Africa is not a good place to go back to.
Right.
And I was speaking to Marwa the other day and we were talking about how people like Trump will call Africa or the countries, those
all
words, there's a whole conversation now. They are like, Africans, go back to your countries. You've seen it, it's happening in the UK, in the US,
everywhere,
where now people don't want you there
Yes.
anymore.
Yeah.
And I feel like when people see what you've been able to do in Africa or even in Kenya,
Yeah.
especially even here in the village,
Yeah.
I think that really impacts them to always know they can come back and this
Right.
is really good. Because I don't know why they keep saying this place is shitty. I think we have the best continent in the entire world.
We do,
Yes.
but also we have to acknowledge that we also have very significant problems in some areas. The challenge is, and again, I even with my neighbors,
Yeah.
when I was just leaving recently, my neighbor was like, "Are you sure you're going to Kenya with the kids?" Because they hear about the Ebola and all that stuff. It's like, yeah. If anything, I'm the one who's going to give Ebola, so I'm not worried about. Yeah. So, yeah, bring it on. See, bring it on.
Yeah.
Because again, they look at the news.
Yes.
And so, because middle class Africa is not visible for them. So one of these online platforms that we have has given us a place where we can show people a different side of Africa they didn't realize.
Yes.
Because when I tell them this is deep in the village, they think I'm in the middle of Kisumu City. Like, no, we are like 20 minutes out.
Yes. 38 actually.
Well, depending on who's driving.
Okay. Yes.
So with that, showing what we're doing here has changed a lot. In fact, there are people who call me specifically just to thank me because they started their project having seen what we show
Yes.
on our channel.
Yes.
That the village is not what you left 20 years ago. Yeah.
The village is something better.
Oh, of course.
And it could get better and better.
And it will. It will get better.
And it will get better.
Yes.
Always appreciate you taking your time. Sure. But of course, as I said, so many people will watch this.
Yes.
I know it's not an ad, but for me, I feel like it's amazing to connect people who are doing like-minded things together.
Yes.
If someone is watching this and they want to try their journey or they want to take their journey back to the motherland, why should they come to you?
Well, the why is that, for one, I call it the cultural translation.
Yeah.
I've lived in diaspora for years, and I also live here a lot. So I bridge that gap. Because to me, that is one of the biggest issues that we run into.
Yes.
My primary job often is bridging that gap.
Yeah.
Like somebody wants to design a house. They have a designer. So I come in and then I consult with the designer to make sure that what I know they want from diaspora is done in there.
Yes.
When I work with the fundis that build, I know exactly what that diaspora client wants, but I also know what the fundi is capable of.
Yes.
So my job is to bridge that gap. So when you come in here, the gap between what you're asking for and what you find is very small, if any. Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
And honestly, I love this collective responsibility.
Yes.
You do your part, we do our part, another person does their part.
Yes.
And I believe, as you said, that is how we move Africa forward.
Right.
But for me, I want to take this moment also to thank you for being an amazing supporter of our brand. I mean, it's not always you get to sit with someone for a second conversation and maybe even a third conversation, and also connecting me to people who are making this a reality.
Yes.
You connected me to your good friend Kim-sang.
Yes.
He has such a beautiful place that we just featured yesterday.
Yes.
And for me, I have faith in this community that people are building. And I believe there is so much goodness that can come together when we collaborate. And I really wanted to take a moment to thank you for that.
Well, I
but
appreciate
maybe
that.
before I let you go,
Yes.
I want to give you a moment looking at that camera.
Yes.
Please give us a strong parting shot to our brothers and sisters, especially our African brothers and sisters.
Yes.
How does that parting shot look like from your end? And also, how can they now be able to connect with you? I know you have a YouTube channel that you are doing incredible things.
Well, thank you.
I follow. I'm a loyal subscriber.
Thank you.
And you are doing a lot of awareness there.
Right.
So I know definitely they are coming to subscribe to the channel, but also in terms of people who would want to use your services, how can they be able to connect with you? I asked so many things. Huh?
Well,
You
see,
remember
so,
all of them.
if I miss,
When professor.
if I miss any, remind me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well. So what I want to say to folks who are still not here is that, in my mind, based on what I see, Africa is the next frontier. It is literally the youngest continent, and I'm looking at the potential there is. I'm looking at the success stories. I'm telling you, Africa is worth it. Yesterday, I was talking to a friend of mine who was showing me his numbers. And he does just simple figuring here. I looked at the numbers and I'm thinking, some of the amount of money that people make here is actually more than what an average person makes in California in a year. So if you're worried about the money, there's ways to make money here. If you're worried about the cultural connections, it's fine. If you're worried about healthcare, because I hear people talk about what about the hospitals and all that?
Yeah, by the way.
You will be fine. You will be just fine. It works out. And whatever is not fine, think of it as an opportunity. I've not had the best experience initially with schools, and that's the reason I'm building a school. So whatever it is you want, it is us to do it here. So you can always find me. I go by Wuon Odidi on my YouTube channel, and my number is posted. It's +254 708 118 288. So you can always find me on WhatsApp. Just text me. I'm happy to respond.
Yes.
If there's things I could do, I'm happy to do.
Good.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
You for having us once again.
Asante sana.
Kama mimi naenda kukula sasa.
Asante, yes.
Yes, but again, thank you.
No wonder, as always.
Yeah, I look forward to the school.
Yes.
I look forward to also documenting that for our audience.
Yes.
And I think for me, my take home from today's conversation with you has been everywhere you see, be a problem solver.
Yes.
Those are the opportunities.
Yeah.
If you think the healthcare sucks, how can you be able to improve that?
Yes.
And also make financial sense when you're doing that.
Yes.
So for me, that's a huge take home.
Yeah. And what I keep reminding folks is when you see a problem, that's a good thing. For me, I like finding problems because this means this is an opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah. And when you do that mind shift, it will not feel as bad as it has always felt because they problematize Africa.
Yes.
But I tell them, show up, find a problem. You have a solution. You are solving your problem. You're solving your neighbor's problem while making money at it. What could be any better?
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. And also you guys watching back at home, also taking this moment to appreciate you for tuning in. You know, sometimes I don't take it for granted that we've been doing this for years. And you guys, you still show up, you tune in, you share your stories with us, you comment, you vouch for us. I think LNN is a brand for you people by you people. And I also hope you feel, you know, I want you to know you are such a huge part of the work that we do here. You know, I've not used this statement for a long time, but they say, si lazima upikie watu chakula na wakule. But every time we make a meal for you guys, you are always happy to come and dine with us. So I really do appreciate you for taking your time and watching. That said, if you tuned into this, I really love to hear from you. Let me know what your take home has been on the comment section. I love engaging with you guys. I love going there, leaving those love emojis, replying to your comments, because I know, man, we are all learning together. So as we continue reclaiming our identity through the soil, if you're in diaspora and you don't know where to start, then call Wuon here. Just go to his YouTube channel as well, subscribe, follow the journeys, follow the different people he also brings on that platform. I saw Kipsang kwa channel yake, and I just called him. I'm like, my brother, please ambia tu Kipsang, I would love to come to Nandi and just document his story. And as you can see, guys, we had a wonderful time with Kipsang. So follow his channel and go there and learn a thing or two and take a chance on yourself. Take that risk. Come back to the motherland. It's a beautiful place to be in. And I hope the lessons and the tips that he has given us are going to help you in one way or another. So thank you to my team as well. We had a good time in Nandi and also here in Kisumu. And I also appreciate you for the effort you take to make sure that we continue bringing conversations that are impacting one life at a time. Yes, allow me to also talk to you about our partner. If you are looking to settle back and maybe you don't know where to start, you are looking for a piece of land, remember we are working with Hekalu Properties. They launched Jairi Gardens in Ngugi, not far from where our farm is. Yeah, I know it's almost 80% sold out, and I want to take this moment to appreciate everyone that has invested in that property. So if you are looking for land land called Hekalu. I know they will launch another one soon, and you can check out their properties in Nanyuki and Konza. And also, we have another neighbor near us at Kanya Farm, that is Yaval. They also have an amazing property. Go check it out. If you're in a position to buy yourself a piece of land, come in Nanyuki, we build a community together. I love what we are doing. Si pia nyi mmeona mchanga venye ni important. Yeah, so if you're in a position to, you can always check out Hekalu or Yaval. I trust them. They are credible, and I hope you guys, you know, if that time comes, consider them. But I'm also wishing you guys all the best, no matter where you are at this stage of your life. I know I bring people like Wuon to you, and you see the amazing things they have done in their homes, and you are like, Lynn, siku yangu itafika. So I'm vouching for you, one step at a time. Sawa. You want to share your reclaiming our identity through the soil story with us? We have our email, info@lnn.digital or lynn.ngugi@lnn.digital. Send me a brief of your story, and who knows, we might be sitting with you on the next conversation of reclaiming our identity through the soil. That's it for me. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.